Hey folks, the audio's a little weird this week. Me and Matt were both on our backup streams, so it sounds a little odd, but the episode is otherwise great, so bear with us. Thanks. Welcome to Book Club no Kiseki. I am Sam Allman.
I forget which order we go in, but I'm David Bernard Houck. I go second. I did it right.
Yeah. I'm Matt Jorgensen.
And the segment of Falcom's Kiseki series that we'll be playing this week is Chapter 1 of Trails in the Sky, second chapter. Chapter 1 of second chapter. But before we get to all of that, what's crack-a-lackin'?
My job has been so hard recently, but I am leaving my job on Monday. It's Thursday now, and Monday is my last day, and I'm really excited about that. I don't have a job lined up, but I have a plan.
And a plan is just as good as a job.
Plans always go according to plan. Otherwise, I wouldn't call it according to plan.
Exactly. So, did you decide on a video game diversion for your self-imposed vacation?
I mean, I'm probably going to be just playing the Great Ace Attorney a lot because it's two big games and it just came out and I played the first chapter of it and I love it.
Good. I have been playing Ace Attorney a lot, but I've been playing the second one, Justice for All. The
sucky Ace Attorney? Not the Great Ace Attorney?
Yeah, is this one like the worst one?
No, I think Apollo Justice is the worst one.
Okay. Yeah, because the first case didn't really even count. The second case was fine. The third case was not fun at all. The fourth case has been phenomenal. But I didn't know if this was a low for the series or if I had another one to just look up a guide and press the right buttons at the right time.
No, the third one is great. The fourth one, Apollo Justice, is fine. The fifth one, Dual Destinies, is pretty good. And the sixth one, Spirit of Justice, is fucking incredible.
Yeah. It is.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that Ace Attorney has been my bedtime story for the past couple of weeks, and it's been great.
I was just going to comment on Bernard answered the question that was kind of lurking in my mind of, okay, the worst one could mean a lot of things, right? Like, is it actively bad, or is it just the least tasty ice cream in your freezer full of ice cream?
Oh, yeah, the worst Ace Attorney is still pretty good.
Yeah. What about you, Matt?
Oh, boy. We had a very large family event that took place, which has drastically changed all of our status quos, but it is not my place to talk about it, so that just takes up a big old blob of my time now, which is fine. I knew what I was getting into when joining a family, or being a human, whatever. But puppy! We got a puppy! Puppy. He's so good. We've named him Dimitri. He is a German Shepherd puppy because we were trying really hard to find. We were going to shelters, trying really hard to find a dog that would not terrorize or be terrorized by our cats. Which was kind of hard because puppies are kind of in demand.
Yeah.
And then we happened to be driving past this Amish farm out by my parents, And I looked at Rebecca and I said, "Do you think we should stop?" She says, "What could possibly go wrong?" And I was a little worried because sometimes when you see a random sign out in the country, it means puppy mill.
Mm-hmm.
But that was not the case here.
Good.
It was not the case. Any whoozleby.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We put a down payment on them and we said we'll be back when they're ready. And then big life events happened and we almost forgot the poor dog.
Poor doggy.
Poor doggy. But now he's home and being spoiled rotten, which is the whole point of having pets. And there's one other thing I did that I wanted to talk about. What was it? Oh, I picked up The World Ends With You Neo for the Nintendo Entertainment Switch system. I have not started playing it yet. I will shortly. And then I don't know if Fuga came out today or tomorrow.
It came out today.
It came out today. Well, I'm gonna pick that up at some point and I'll report back because that's a tank RPG, and they could feed me that with a shovel.
Yep.
That's it. That's what I got.
Yeah, I have had a pretty great week. I finished my big wedding project, so now I have free time, and it's been weird. So today I was in my Plex server. 'Cause I don't know if this was on this podcast or the other podcast or what, but I had made the huge ultimate Dragon Ball Z playlist, right? Where it was the Dragon Ball Recut fan edit, all of the movies where they go in canon, Dragon Ball Kai with the Falconer music score added back in, plus the Garlic Jr. saga and the Driver's License episode and the Otherworld saga, all shimmied up, put in there, nice and pretty together. The unfortunate thing is that's not a single television show, so when Plex automatically will pull it from the TV database, there's not a show called The Ultimate Dragon Ball Z. So I had to go in and copy and paste all of the episode titles and descriptions today, and it was a big old waste of time, and it was great because I can just waste time now, and it feels great to just waste time doing stupid menial labor, just so that when the next episode comes up on the TV, you can read a sentence about it, even though I've already seen everything that's on there. But
organizing a Plex server is a good way to waste time.
It's like my crack, man. Like I have my anime Plex server, which takes up a lot of my time, because I like to, for my anime one specifically, I want all of my poster titles to have the minimalist vector art, and some of my titles are obscure, like Wild Arms Twilight Venom. So there aren't fan arts of that out there that I could adapt to it. So I have to go in and make my own and all of that stuff. And I waste a lot of time doing that. I also have my audio dramas by Big Finish on my Plex server. And that is oodles upon oodles upon oodles of audio dramas, and making them all line up exactly where they are, and make it feel like a Netflix type thing, where for the artist I have the the series, and then each episode in the series would then have its own album art and all of this stuff. I can just waste so much time organizing my Plex server, more time than I would enjoying the content on my Plex server. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. So let's listen to that cool ass new track that you get for walking around outside of Ruin this week, and then we'll talk about the plot. take it away, Matt.
All right. So, where my notes started, I'm gonna need y'all to catch me if I miss anything important, because I ended up starting over on the easy, just because that seems more efficient for taking notes.
Yeah, that's what I did last game.
But so far as I can tell, because I do not remember this part of the game, we hard cut into a scene that raised a lot of questions. And this is probably a scene I should have talked about last week. We see Father Kevin being guided down through a sealed area, but it is very disappointing due to lack of seals. He is being guided by Julia, and they make small talk about Kevin being a priest, which leads me to think he's less of a D&D cleric-y priest and more of a 40k science and lasers kind of priest. He's examining the robot from last game, which still makes me sad because I struggled with it so bad. He says some archaic science stuff about the facility, makes a point to say he knows what the areola is, and he spouts a little bit about magic trails and the thingy, and then we transition into chapter 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you started in the right spot. That's after the Luna, but before the chapter starts. There's a couple scenes like that every time.
Okay, perfect. All right, so chapter 1 opens with Annalise and Estelle getting off an airship after getting back from summer camp. Good public transportation must be great.
Mm-hmm.
They have
a good
same. They have a good chat about Estelle's growth, and then decide to head over to the guild. There we get paid for professional development and get caught up on what's been going on while we were gone. Cassius is big boss of the military now, and new monsters are appearing. And new monsters are appearing, which are both terrifying in their own right. That made more sense without the joke in the middle there. We find out that the guild is planning on dealing with these monsters, though, and we can get in on the ground floor. In fact, the story insists.
This is another one of the things where it's like, yeah, we're going to be reusing locations, but the monsters are not still going to be level 1 because reasons. So monsters are hard now. It's a crisis that you have to deal with so that you can still fight monsters as you're walking around doing the thing.
And was it just me, or were the NPCs not fucking kidding about the monsters being stronger now?
Yeah, this game is real hard.
Like, eventually I sort of got up to speed, but I got owned a lot by just random monsters out on the road.
Yeah, and I keep forgetting that, like, I'm not playing on pitiful easy plus DLC superpower like I was last game, and so I'll like make my way from area to area, skipping all of the monsters, and then I'll get in a fight and they will destroy me. The good news is the Vita version of second chapter does add in the retry at a lower difficulty option that the PC has, which is really cool.
Wonderful.
This whole part of the game, that's spoilers. I'm not going to talk about it. Anyway, back to the stuff. We've read that part. In walks Shara and then Agate. We exchange catch-ups and find out that the pair of them are working the Ouroboros case, and we are their assistants. I'm devastated to learn it means splitting the party. I love Annalise.
Yeah, I miss her already.
Why don't you want me to just be happy, game? Why? Because I know Sam and Bernard probably took Shara, I decided to wallow in self-pity and run with Agate. Also,
I went with Agate for the same reason. Sam, please tell me you also went with Agate.
No, I went with Shara because I went with Agate last time I got to this part.
Okay.
I'll tell you if anything's majorly different.
I actually enjoyed my time with Agate. Agate, I'm sorry. Agate is clearly his name.
I'm going to keep calling him Agate because that's how my brain is broken. But I was shocked to find how much I actually really enjoyed him as a party member. usually his character archetype of the gruff and tumble guy isn't my cup of tea, but he's a real sweetie. All right, there's that part. We have,
and the fact that he's sweet makes it okay that he's really, really mean to people other times. They cancel each other out. It's fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It means he's neutral, not two-faced.
Yes.
It just means he doesn't have social skills. There's nothing wrong with not having social skills. I was going to say because I don't, but I think I'm better than I get. Anyway, we have zero clues as to the Ouroboros case, so we decide to capitalize on the gig economics of the region and help out where it's busiest. Agate and Estelle run off to Ron, while the fun party goes to Roland. More airships! I really enjoy... I'm going to take a second to talk about this because I will not remember later. I really enjoy the various airship docks, and they're vaguely the same, but all different anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them.
Go ahead.
I like them, but I'm also glad that I can speed up the animations of the ships docking because, wow, those are long, detailed animations.
They sure are. They sure are.
Yeah, I really appreciate the big, majestic 3D animations that they have in this game, but I also love that both versions of this game that I own have speed up because everything is a little bit too slow in these games.
It's just a little bit, but it's just enough. Yeah. Anyway, so at this point, I'm going to be talking about Agate, and Sam, I'd like you to step in if anything was different about Shara.
Yeah, so far it's the exact same.
We have a nice little talk with Agate and find out he's actually pretty considerate, despite being a jerk a lot of the time to everyone who isn't Estelle, usually. He decides to take a nap, and because we tell him this, and he doesn't like unexpected compliments. So we do some walkie-walking and some talkie-talking, and end up seeing folks we helped out, and getting a fishing pole. It's officially a JRPG, folks.
Yeah.
Time to disembark. That's more of the airship. So we get off the ship and head straight to the guild, and we get told there's lots of jobs. Jean kicks us out right away to get them, but only after telling us to focus on the ghost sighting.
Good ghosts.
That is exactly what I meant when I wrote that. I just wrote a bunch of G's. Yep.
I was so hoping we'd get through this without Estelle saying I ain't afraid of no ghosts, but
nope.
She said it.
She said it.
She did.
Yeah, this Xseed is not working designs, but sometimes they just can't help themselves, and so they show up every now and then to be a pop culture reference, and it makes me like it even more.
I was gonna say there's that one translator in their 30s to 40s who was wearing his Ghostbusters shirt, his or her Ghostbusters shirt that day. It's like, my time has come. Now, actually, there's a hilarious story tied to this that I just thought of, but it takes a long time, and this is a super big chunk, so I'm going to try and not get deviated. We end up doing some pretty standard quest stuff, or offered to do it. My guide told me to put a lot of it off until later and do it in a particular order, so that's what I did.
I only did the monster quests. Well, I take that back. I did the monster quests and the Tetracyclic Tower quests because it forced me to. Because I took it and I was about to go and do the main quest and walk and like finish the chapter, and my character stopped and were like, "Oh, hey, we should go and finish that other quest that we have," and it made me go and do it.
Interesting.
Interesting. I hated it because I was like that. Oh, that was Sunday morning, like right before we were supposed to record, and I knew I had like 30 minutes of stuff left, and then I had to make a 15-minute diversion to go and do that quest. It made me upset.
I did not write down if I did all of the quests. I probably did what I always do with these games and did all the quests that were available to me in the moment.
Mm.
But grossly neglected the pickup quests you can do that are scattered around.
Yeah.
So anyways, Rune, pretty standard town. Got some casinos, we got some fishing. I spent way more time fishing than I probably should have.
I tried it one time and think I did it wrong because the first time I did it, I pressed the button at what I thought was like when the exclamation point comes up, like the Pokemon and the Harvest Moon way, and it said I did it too late. And then I remembered in the like tutorial thing that pops up, it had the word hit above her head. And I was like, maybe I have to wait for that. So the second one I waited for like 30 minutes and definitely missed it. And I was like, well, I don't actually care enough. And so I have not ever fished again.
I went fishing. I caught a fish on my first try. Then I went to the casino and played poker.
Nice. How good is the casino?
It's got poker.
It's not bad.
Yeah, you just play against yourself. There's no, like, complex AI you bluff against. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I got a full house a few times.
That owns.
I earned a lot of tokens that I got to exchange for prizes.
I did just enough gambling to get... The guide recommended getting a particular accessory. So I said, sure. But my stupid human trick in most video games is the fishing minigame. So I did a bunch of that. I made a lot of money that I immediately wasted. Anyway, during all that, we get our proper dive into Agate's rough past. Just there's a lot of good stuff there. I didn't write any specifics down because I'm the worst, other than he's a reformed ne'er-do-well, and I spelled ne'er-do-well right, so that was pretty good.
Nice.
The overarching structure for this is finding for this area is finding witnesses to the ghost. But we also. It's also kind of a victory lap situation, because one of the witnesses is from the Raven Gang, who participated in the fighting tournament last game, and we thought we're going to go do some good, but instead we're like, doing good's hard, we're going to not do that, and we beat him up.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a nice moment with Matron Teresa, whose orphanage got rebuilt in what is just bonkers record time.
Rebuilt to look exactly the same.
Yeah, like the amount of like narrative time they spend on obviously like money saving ventures in this game is hilarious to me. It's like, oh well, yeah, you have to start back at effectively level 1, so yeah, new orb mints came out for everybody. Cool. And obviously we're going to have like the same stuff, the same locations as last time. So they built it in a week. So yeah, just go and enjoy the same content from last time again. And I do.
I do too.
I liked some of it. I was kind of mad about the Raven Gang, but I loved seeing the orphanage rebuilt. That was pretty great.
Yeah, if you were meh about the Raven Gang and you had Agate in your party, then there was no hope on my end, because I was meh about it. I was like, oh, this is probably a lot better if you have Agate, but guess not.
I thought it was going to be, and they do have some like not interpersonal.
Banter.
Yeah, they have some banter that's okay. but at the end of the day, it's still like, we're going to beat up them ruffians because they're actually good boys when they have a chance. They just need a good whooping. It's very, very stereotypical.
Okay.
Good whooping with a 5-foot sword.
Yep, good whooping with a 5-foot sword. Who doesn't need that in their life?
And fire magic.
Yeah, Shara offers to, like, bone all of them, but they're like, what? And she's like, oh, I just meant get drinks. And then they're afraid of it because drinking with a woman is scary in the world of The Legends of Heroes, Trails in the Sky.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Because, well, there's always this thing of, oh, no, I can't drink with Shara. She can drink so much. And it's like, that doesn't mean you have to drink. So you can stop whenever you want to.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to drink as much as her. I don't.
Yeah. Don't know why it's such a big deal, but okay.
Maybe they're worried about the bill. Anyway. Damn it, now I lost my... Oh yeah, the Sunday school.
Oh yeah, I did that side quest.
In the process of looking for said ghost, we go to the Sunday school that is being taught by none other than Father Kevin.
Kevin.
Oh, I forgot.
Kevin.
I forgot. There's the actual quest with Sunday school in addition to the side quest with Sunday school. Go on. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah. I just remembered the side quest too.
One of them is there's 2 quests around the Sunday school. One of them is mandatory, the other isn't. And I don't think I did the other one.
Yeah, you teach Sunday school, and it's a quiz on the events of last year and the lore and being a bracer. And I didn't want to actually do it. I was doing it on accident because I was trying to see, because Kevin joins your party for a second, and he's like, "I'll be at the church." So I walked into the church and kicked off the Sunday school quest on accident. So I was like speeding through it and not really reading it.
Okay, yeah, I guess I did that then. I thought that was just part of the... Okay, cool.
Yeah.
He tells a story, which I liked a lot. More importantly, though, he joins your party. At this juncture, I went and did the Lighthouse quest. And a couple of the board quests, mostly just the monster fighty ones.
Yeah, I really liked all the monster fights this week. They were good. They were hard.
They were hard, and it makes it pretty clear to me why the guide said hold off until later, because I cannot imagine doing them with just Estelle and Agate. Agate. Yeah. We make one last trip to see a witness down by the border, and we meet a nice vacationing family, which I highlight because they were adorable.
They also are characters in a future game, and I recognize them from the cover art of a future game. I didn't say which future game, and I didn't say which character.
The future game they're in is Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yes.
And that future game was...
Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein. Oh, God. And when we get... All right. When we get back... Wait.
Nice Family. The Nice Family says a lot of important stuff.
Nice Family says a lot of important stuff, none of which I wrote down because I was playing at 3 a.m.
I will go and see if I'm correct in remembering that they say important stuff, or if I was making it important because they're from a future game and it's actually not important. I'll let you know.
Okay. It is at this juncture that I headed back to Rune. And I believe this is also when Kevin bails on us. He's got stuff to do. Mm-hmm. He's a wandering laser priest. He's a busy man. But we get back to the guild and we run into our reporting duo. I loved them. I still do. I don't know why I wrote that in past tense. Go me.
They're the best.
They are the best. And they're here to cover an election, which felt really weirdly mundane for Trails in the Sky, even though most of the questy stuff is.
It's not that mundane, because remember, this is the town in which we overthrew the mayor. So it's a big deal. Yeah, that's all of the NPC chatter. This whole chapter has been like people taking sides between the two different mayoral candidates.
Also, the mayoral candidates' campaigns, like the actual people working the campaigns, are fucking almost getting into brawls in the street. So that's pretty cool.
There's a very important sentence. Continuation after they're here to cover an election that I wrote. This is very important, but somehow I managed to miss it. I should talk to more NPCs. We also find out, though, while we were out, there was another ghost sighting. Spooky. At this point, we become an episode of Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm.
The ghost sightings are tied into the politics somehow, and are causing a showdown between the two political factions. However, the tension is ruined by Oliver and a terrible, terrible song from a boat below the bridge. That is actually what happened. We all meet up at the guild and discuss the witness statements. The group determines the location for the ghosts, and we gear up to supernatural the shit out of it, with 65% more Oliver. Right here is a good place to mention, if you're playing along and following along, that once you get to the academy, your board quest will disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So wrap up.
Point of no return for the chapter.
Yep. I think it is just the board quest, though. I'm not sure if the actual side quests. The guide was not specific.
I did the lighthouse side quest like last thing, so.
Okay.
Anyway, so we get to the school and we see Chloe. I've missed you, Chloe.
Yay.
She has a totally normal emotional reaction to seeing your friends in pain and not being able to do anything about it. People have emotions, let them have them. Estelle comforts her, though, so it's great. I loved this whole scene. It made me very happy and emotional. We move on to talk to the dean, who has a hilarious icon. We give him the 411 on the ghost, and he gives us the go-ahead to handle it. We enlist the help of the student council, because this is an anime.
Oh, yes. What's the name of the student council president? I love her so much. I can never remember her name.
It's like Jenny, isn't it? Something like that.
I don't know.
I'm on the page with her. Let me see.
But I love her so much. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Anyway, Chloe and Estelle split off to look around the school and such, and...
It's Jill, by the way.
Jill!
Wait, okay, yes. When they split off and look, she officially joins the party. We wander around looking for clues, reminisce about the past, and see slices of school-born drama. All of that section was much longer and more heartfelt than I wrote it down, but I was so engrossed in the moment that I didn't take notes until well after it. But we visit the stage. That one was real. It was real sad. We visit the stage.
Yeah, at the stage, Chloe tells us that she tells Estelle that she was totally fiending for Joshua, but like moved out of the way because it was obvious that her and Joshua were soulmates. So she knows that things are going to be okay because she believes in the power of our love and all that jazz.
Chloe is a great, great friend. Estelle should appreciate her more. Not that she doesn't appreciate her quite a bit, but she's just one of those friends you should always be aware she should be appreciating.
Although, I gotta say, Chloe's like, you and Joshua are like my best friends. And I'm like, how long have you known each other?
Right.
Like, what about Jill and that other guy?
Yeah, literally been going to school with Jill for like 18 years. But sure, it's Estelle and Joshua, best friends.
Oh.
Estelle's pretty great.
It's true.
Jill and other guy are like hometown friends, right? And in my mind, Estelle and Joshua are like college friends.
Yeah.
Like, you've known them a long time. Your friendship isn't born out of just proximity, right? So they mean quite a bit more sometimes.
So anyway. I looked it up, and Renee does not say anything important except for that she's from Crossbell, which will become important later because Crossbell is a whole place we're going.
Oh, I think I would have remembered if she said Crossbell, since I know about the Crossbell arc. But I guess that didn't stand out to me, or maybe it was localized different. I don't know.
I don't know.
I have a feeling that when we get to... Because I haven't played the Crossbell games. I've played the Trails of Cold Steel games. When we get to people talking about that country, I'm going to blankly miss anyone that is going to show up in that game.
Yeah.
Just because I'm so used to, like, this country name here. Oh, okay, everybody talks about this country, guys. Everybody does it.
Speaking of which, in the new trilogy, saga, whatever, that just started, it takes place in Calvard. So the trailer has a 3D Karna, and she's still hot.
Nice.
Love Karna.
Is Karna from Calvard?
No, Kilika. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Oh, who's Kilika?
She is the guild person in chapter 2.
Right, yes. The one from Calvard.
Yes.
Huh. Anyway, we get to the end of the school day, but the only clue that has turned up that anyone has come across is the janitor saw someone weird disappear at the gates of the old school building. And then Estelle sees something out the window and passes out. I wonder what it is.
It's probably a ghost.
Thank you. Estelle wakes up some time later and describes the ghost. He is literally a Scooby-Doo villain.
Yep.
Estelle has been confronted with the supernatural and chooses violence. So we charge off to the old schoolhouse. We solve what I guess is technically puzzles. I didn't find them challenging. But anyway, we solve a puzzle that has to do with candlesticks and going to the right room. But eventually we catch up to the ghost man. He's a fancy boy with a mask. I hate him. He says words with his stupid face and produces the gospel to do an experiment, but the experiment has to do with the projector, not the gospel. He just has that for some reason. Fancy Pants says his projector is to distract the folks of Rune from the heated election because the Grand Master told him to. This guy, I was having a tough time following along anything Fancy Pants here says.
Also, it's just very convenient how just, oh, yeah, this weird random thing we were investigating turns out it's the Society of Ouroboros.
Yep.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. But
also, it's the dumbest fucking thing he's doing.
Yep. It's quite... And I don't say this as an exaggeration. This is a literal episode of Scooby-Doo that aired once.
Yeah.
That part I liked about it, that it's just weird anime Scooby-Doo. But anyway.
I forgot. So I wanted to talk about this when we got to this part. So remember last game when we got to the end, I was like, well, I wish I didn't waste everybody's time doing side quests because only the Phantom Thief quest was any good. That's because this is the Phantom Thief. It's the same name that signed all the cards in the first game when I was chasing that Phantom Thief for that side quest that I really liked. It was this guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was this guy, which was really cool.
I was just about to get to that part. But yeah, I've got a great joke here, so I'm going to read it anyway. We find out that he was present during parts of last game during the election, and that in that time he fell in love with Chloe, and he calls himself the Phantom Thief. And now my least favorite Phantom Thief isn't the weird fox artist. Fancy Pants says he fixed the guardian of this place, and it's time for us to do one battle. I do not remember this fight being particularly hard.
Fuck you, it was real fucking hard.
It was hard.
It was hard as goddamn. So, this whole dungeon here has had these little centaurs on wheels that have been kind of cool because when you kill one, it buffs the rest of them. So you either want to kill one and run away from them and wear out the buffs, but that takes a long time, or you want to kill as many of them at the same time as you can so that they don't just become super duper powerful. You don't have like 4 super powered ones going off at the same time, so you want to like take out 3 of them so you have one powerful one that you can deal with. That was hard enough on its own and was super fun. Then this boss spawns and he has 4 of them, and every time you kill one, 2 turns later it comes back. So you kind of just have to either ignore them and fight the boss a lot, or keep killing them to buff, which ends up buffing the boss, which then sucks really hard and really bad. And he was real hard to take care of, but he's real weak to water and ground. So since we have the 2 best casters in the game back in our party at this point, I utilized them a lot. Olivier and Chloe their orbment is a perfect spiral, so they both are the best casters in the game. So you just blow the shit up out of the boss with some diamond dust and you do okay.
Yeah, I did beat the boss on my first try, but it was hard. And I was going to mention that you didn't say that Olivier came with us, but then it was like, well, you mentioned that he appeared, and so of course he's going to come with us.
Of course he did.
Like, of course.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't remember. Maybe it's that dumb accessory. I don't know. Because I actually wrote, I don't remember this boss being particularly hard.
Yeah, but on easy, things get exponentially easy super duper fast because you outlevel things like right away. So you're probably already just into that part. So
that could absolutely be what's going on right now, because I'm still playing it like I was playing the first game on normal, like doing every boss fight and buying the heal and junk and whatnot.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just a beat racing the game.
Yeah. But the other thing that sucks is the little duders can like stun you, and there was and Estelle has my DLC locket on, so she's immune from everything, but I only have one of those. So there was this one turn where Estelle died and everyone else was stunned for 3 turns, so I just had to slowly watch a whole party wipe happen, and it sucked. It was real hard. But I did it on my second try.
Well, that's good. Alright. So, after the fight, Fancy Pants uses Shadow Jutsu to bind the party and gets even creepier towards Chloe. I cannot stress enough how creepy he was in this scene.
Yeah.
Oliver laughs at Fancy Pants and questions Fancy Pants' catcalling, has a philosophical quip battle about beauty, and names Fancy Pants as Blue Blanc, which is a stupid name. Everyone is just kind of standing here listening to them have this weird conversation too.
I mean, what else can they do? They're Shadow Jutsu'd.
Yep. So there's some great lines, like, what's going on here, guys? Agate in particular has one that made me laugh out loud, which is kind of rare for a video game. I've never been forced to listen to a more brain-rottingly stupid conversation in my life.
Love it. They, of course, become anime rivals because why wouldn't they?
Yes, absolutely. Dorothy,
just like Estelle and Annalise became earlier.
My memorable moments are about that scene.
Dorothy, whom I hadn't realized was with us in the first place.
She wasn't. We told her to go home. And so when she shows up, all of us are like, what the fuck are you doing here? We told you to go home. And she's like...
Oh, well, she came with us to the haunted house, but when we got down to the basement, we told her to wait.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was probably speeding through part of this. Oh no, I added right there. That's right. We told her to go home. Reading the notes explains the notes, Matt. Keep up.
Don't you love having writing a note? Because when you write notes, you're having a conversation with the you of 5 seconds ago, and also having the conversation with you in a week when you read the notes. And it's three-way self-conversation. It's great.
It's weird. She snaps a pick, which somehow breaks the shadow jutsu because there are no shadows. I loved that. That was the best fucking thing.
Yeah.
This whole game.
Because she uses a flash, and so it erases your shadows, so you're no longer stuck by the jutsu.
Yeah, so Blue Blanc, he had thrown knives at their shadows, and the knives stuck in the ground and bound their shadows. And so she does a flash, the shadows go away, and they're able to move again. And for some reason, Fancy Pants does not do it again.
Yeah, he could just do it again.
I'm imagining that they are special knives that need preparation, much like some spells in the Wizard's Compendium.
Oh, Vancian magic.
I'm hoping that's my brain filling it in from playing D&D with like real pedantic assholes sometimes. Yeah, you guys know who you are. You listen. Anyway, Blue Balls does the boring villain thing and laughs at us, saying we are entertaining, and runs away after saying something cryptic about Joshua. Basically saying, oh yeah, I worked with the Fang, you could say, or not, or I'm a weird Fancy Pants. It's too early in the game to give you real clues.
Yeah. He does definitely give us his Organization 13 number, and I forget what it is. But I loved that in Kingdom Hearts 2 of figuring out like, oh, who's top dog, whose number is this when you're making your way through it. And I'm glad that this game is Kingdom Hearts 2. I
am too, but it gets so much more Kingdom Hearts 2, Sam. You're gonna love it.
I'm excited for the next bajillion years of our lives.
But anyway, we kind of just mill around for a minute talking, and then we go home. We go back to Gene and explain what happened and ask for a reward. He quietly mutters, "But you didn't do anything," as we get paid. We chat a bit about what we learned about Joshua, which wasn't much, and then learned that Zace is also understaffed, so we plan to head that way. Oliver and Chloe invite themselves along, but they are cool, so it's cool.
Yeah, I'm glad we get a party this game. I didn't mind getting it being so episodic last time, but I really like Olivier and Chloe, and I'm glad that they get to stick around at least for a while.
I'm guessing that at least Agate/Shara will find a reason to disappear.
So we can have an open party spot for Zane to join us or whatever.
Yes, and also so that we don't have two versions of every single scene for the next chapter as well.
Yeah.
That would be pretty nice.
Because if there's one thing I know about Falcom, it's that they do not put an excessive amount of writing in their games.
Yeah, they definitely don't overwrite these things at all.
And I have transition to title card for Chapter 2.
Hell yeah. So let's listen to some other song, probably the boss track, since we had our first boss this week. And then we will talk about our memorable moments. Dope. Bernard, what do you got?
I love Jill. She is great. I loved her last game. I love her this game. Another thing is it really threw me off how a bunch of characters who did not have portraits last game suddenly had portraits in this game.
Like who?
Random members of the Ravens had portraits.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Jill's friend, who was also Chloe's friend, the guy in their group, I'm pretty sure he didn't have a portrait last game.
I don't remember.
And I think there were a couple other instances. Weirded me out.
Yeah, it's funny because like those random people will get portraits and they're not important. At least so far, they're not important. But like Lloyd, not Lloyd Banning from the Crossbow games, but Lloyd, the captain of the Lind, like you have a whole scene where you recognize him and he's important and you like talk to him, and that's like the scene you have to see to progress the plot on the airship. And he didn't get a portrait. He just was there. Yeah.
I really like how this game is reusing stuff and very much being a direct sequel where we are in the same world with the same characters and very much a second half of a complete story, but not in a dot hack way. It's the last game was very much a complete story, a complete video game that I would pay full price for and not feel upset about. And yeah, I just was comparing in my head to Dot Hack in that way, which Dot Hack is the first volume of Dot Hack GU is not a complete story.
No, not even close.
It's barely the beginning of a story.
Yeah, I kept expecting like when the arena was over for it to like start the whole thing and like we had like that be the inciting incident and we start the game. But no, that was the end of this game. It was the exciting incident that started the quadrilogy.
What else do I have?
Speaking of reusing assets, the Trail series does what I have wanted RPGs to do forever, which is be a Majora's Mask, where making a brand new from scratch takes forever, and a lot of times we just want more of the thing. So just use the stuff, tell us more story. We just keep going and make a new game every year, and that's kind of what the Trails series is, and it makes me really happy. Unfortunately, these games are gigantic and they take forever to come out over here. But if I was fluent in Japanese, I would every single year just buy the new Trails game. It would be my Call of Duty 100%.
Well, I mean, we got 2 Trails games coming out next year and 2 the year after that.
Yeah. We're almost catching up. Almost. Because I think only 1 is coming out over there in the meantime, so. Anything else, Bernard?
No.
Okay.
I'll probably interrupt you and comment on yours.
Yes, because my first one is Annalise, when you get there, she's like, hey, Estelle, I know we spent a lot of time together for the past month training and waking up, seeing each other first thing in the morning and spending all day together and sharing meals and quiet moments. So I think I'd really, really like it if we became something more, if we became rivals. And it made me giggle because there's a thing that happens with bisexuals because they don't like, no one tells you that being bi is a thing you can do. And so your same-sex friendships will be like super important to you and you won't even realize why. And that's what's happening here. Annalise is bi representation and she is in love with Estelle and just doesn't have the words for it. And that is my headcanon. Another one that I had was when you're fighting the Ravens with Shara. They're like, yeah, we want a rematch for the tournament, blah, 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 blah. And Shara says something, I don't even remember what it is, to like say, oh, I'm going to enjoy this. And they're like, wait, Shara's fighting? I don't know. And so she says, oh, come on, boys. It'll only be your spines. I'm sure they'll grow back. Then you have the fight. And then after the fight, he goes, my spine. And the other one says, all of my other bones. And it's so good. It made me laugh so hard. And then my last one is the tooltip for the item moon glasses. Moon glasses say, prevent poison/blind. Glasses from the central factory that for some utterly mysterious reason also block poison.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like, it doesn't make diegetic sense. It's a gameplay thing. You have monsters coming up that can poison you. Slap this on your fucking character and get on with it. But those were my main three that I had. What about you, Matt?
It feels like a cop-out to say the ghost story, but as much as I was making fun of it, I do love a good dumb Scooby-Doo. That was super fun.
Mm-hmm.
And the flashbacks, I think is another one. I think the flashbacks are going to probably continue on throughout the game, so far as we're revisiting areas.
Mm-hmm.
But they did a really good job of the quiet moments, of flashing back to the quiet moments that Joshua and Estelle had in the first game that we saw, that we were like, oh, cool. They're realizing that they aren't just, God, I was going to say aren't just brother and sister, but that sounds so wrong. You know what I mean.
They aren't just people who lived in the same house.
Yeah.
They aren't just people that lived in the same house. They have
and called the same person dad. I mean, when they get married and Joshua now is going to call his father-in-law dad like some people do, it'll be an easy transition.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Anyway, I think it was really smart storytelling and story building to take those quiet moments that I don't think there's anybody who enjoyed the first game didn't really appreciate in the first game, and then recontextualizing them into painful moments for the second time around. That's brilliant. I loved it. I hated it because it hurt me in my brain goo. But it was really good storytelling.
So, fun fact about the flashbacks is they flash back by flashing up a screenshot of the game at that point back in the day, and the modders who modded the Japanese Vita version to have the Steam version's text. They didn't change those screenshots. So I knew what happened because we just played the game, but it just flashes back to a random picture in Japanese and I couldn't read it. But I'm betting that was not the case for you guys.
No, it was in English.
Mine was in Chinese. I'm very confused.
Mine was in Esperanto.
God, no.
Mine was in crayon. Anywho.
Yeah, those were my memoms. Oh, I lied. The dumb song that Oliver sings in his boat.
Yeah.
It's so good. He drives me nuts sometimes, but like diffusing a situation by what he was probably intentionally like, I'm gonna sing the most overly sappy, dumb thing that I know, in the most dramatic way possible.
Like they've done it to us twice, and I've liked both of them where emotions are high and the only thing that they can agree on is, well, that was fucking weird, I'm just gonna go home, and he de-escalates it, and it's great.
Yes, I love it.
It is a thing that I suspect will continue to be a trend for Oliver. That's not a spoiler because I honestly don't remember. But
I hope so.
I at least want a game.
Yeah.
We talked about it a bit earlier, but I really liked the scene in the theater at Genus Royal Academy. It was really sweet, and I like Chloe, and I like Estelle, and I like them being friends.
Mm-hmm. It had a CG on the Vita version, which was real nice, and I will find it and show it to you guys later because I don't have it handy.
That's quite a scene to put a CG for. They were just sitting there.
Yeah, but it was cute. So,
all right,
not?
Fair enough.
I mean, also, like, that would be it kind of makes sense to me, because in like rom-com anime, that would be a climactic scene, right? Where the leg of the triangle realizes that they aren't gonna get where they want to be, and instead decide it is better to be a good friend than wreck the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of makes sense to me.
Obviously, Chloe should be Joshua's girlfriend and Estelle's girlfriend.
Yes, absolutely. The whole time I was doing that scene, I kept, because I showed Summer the CG, and she was like, that's the gayest thing I've ever seen. And so while I was doing it, everything that could be taken completely out of context, because they were talking about love, they just were talking about Joshua, but everyone that worked out of context, I sent it to Summer, and so now Summer ships Chloe and Estelle, and I don't blame her.
But I already ship Estelle and Annalise.
Maybe this should just be one of the biggest polycules in RPG history.
Yes.
I don't know, man. Oh god. Was that game with 120 party members?
Suikoden.
I'm
108.
Yes.
Counting's hard. I have to. I'm seeing some of the poly ships in that. There's like 30, 40 people involved.
People thought troll romance was hard.
Going on a date. Who am I going on a date with today? Consult the book. Who is that? Oh, it's Hugh, the pirate chef that's also a dolphin. I remember now.
You should be able to romance party members in Chrono Cross.
You should. But I think that's all we have to talk about today, unless anyone has any final notes before I say the thing.
No.
Not off the top of my head.
All right. This series would not be possible without the support of our good old friends on the Ko-Fi. If you are listening to this in the after times and you would like to get these episodes a month before everybody else, you could go on over to www.rpgbook.club, where a donation of any amount gets you access to the Book Club no Kiseki episodes a month before everyone, and it also allows you to vote in the the main series games, which we have a vote coming up for a really awesome series. Because this won't come out for a month until a month after, I can go ahead and say it because we're not saying it until 2 weeks from now on the main pod. But the next vote is going to be between Blue Reflection and Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1. So it's a little magical girls RPG block, and I'm super excited about it. It's going to be interesting. And Maddie's going to be taking it off, so we are going to have a guest host, and that guest host is female, so she can tell us how gross it is for the game to talk about girls this way. So I cannot wait. But if you want to be a part of all of that, you can head on over to our website, toss us some money, keep the lights on, commission a bonus episode if you want. We have a bonus episode coming out soon on SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, which is great. Shout outs to Omega for commissioning that. But other than that, tune in next week where we will play the next chapter we will play the second chapter of Trails in the Sky, second chapter. But until then, I am Sam Allman.
I'm David Bernard Hauk.
I'm Matt Jorgensen.
Toodaloo, folks.
Adios, amigos.
Oh, thanks. Yep, that's the one. Toodaloo, folks is the other one. Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
All right, Craig, get the fuck out of here.